I choose to do my informative speech on Abraham Lincoln. So let's start with who Lincoln was. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States of America. He was born in Harding County, Connecticut on February 12, 1809, and moved to Indiana in 1816, where he lived for the rest of his youth. Before his presidency, he started out as a clerk. He later served in the military in the 1832 Black Hawk War, where he was elected captain and later moved on to join the Independent Spy Corps. He became a lawyer in 1836 and also had a hand in politics before becoming president, including running for state legislature, election as a Whig, serving as a U.S. representative, and running for U.S. Senate. He was kind of a jack of all trades when it came to occupations. He is best known for his work while president preserving the Union during our nation's Civil War, and for the work that he did for emancipation of the slaves. Historical impact. As mentioned, Lincoln was a significant historical figure for his work during the Civil War and for the Emancipation Proclamation, both which made positive impacts on the American nation and American people. During the war, Lincoln served the military as commander-in-chief, while also serving the nation as president. By the time of his inauguration in 1861, 7 states had seceded from the Union, and though his conciliatory inaugural address had little effect on the South, he focused his efforts throughout the war on trying to bring the two parts of the nation back together as a whole. In addition to his efforts regarding the war, in 1863 Lincoln implemented the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared, and I quote, that all persons held as slaves are and henceforward shall be free. Communication strategies. Lincoln used speeches, for one, as a communication strategy to effectuate change. His now famous Gettysburg Address speech during the Civil War echoed the principles of human equality set by the Declaration of Independence, and declared the Civil War a struggle for the preservation of the Union brought on by the secession. He defined the Civil War as a struggle not just for the Union, but also for the principle of human equality. His speech reminded Americans of the founding principles of the United States and memorialized the sacrifices of those who gave their lives at the Battle of Gettysburg. It praised virtues for the listeners to ensure the survival of America's representative democracy, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and certainly gained him more of a following as a national leader. As mentioned, Lincoln also used documentation as a form of communication to commence change in the nation and alter perceptions. The Constitution protected slavery and peace, but in war, Lincoln came to believe that he, as commander-in-chief, could abolish slavery as a military necessity. He did not want the people, particularly in the southern rebellious states, to have slaves anymore. He did not want the practice of slave owning to be a widely accepted way of the nation any longer. The Emancipation Proclamation was his way of communicating that idea with the people of the nation and getting the word to everyone quickly. Although the proclamation did not end slavery everywhere in the nation right away, it captured the hearts and imagination of millions of Americans and also transformed the character of the war. Additionally, it set the groundwork for the 13th Amendment of 1865, which abolished slavery, and which Lincoln endorsed. As for successfulness, Lincoln's speeches and other efforts of communicating with the nation were successful because he knew how to communicate with his people. When the southern states broke away from the North in 1861 and started the bloodiest war in American history, Lincoln led his nation through it and stopped America from breaking apart completely. His achievements in saving the Union and freeing the slaves is part of what makes him still so renowned as one of the greatest American presidents of all time. His eloquence in speech-giving, like the Gettysburg Address, shows his ability to communicate with those that he was leading. Lincoln did not simply tell the people what they wanted to hear. He told them what they needed to hear and set forth to make the nation stronger, like in his second inaugural address, where he urged malice toward none and charity for all in the peace after the war. Lincoln stayed true to his policies and made changes successfully thanks to his integrity. Thank you.